Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another Raw and Smackdown review. So like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to it. We had opened up the show with another segment between Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Jacob Fatu. Roman Reigns would get ready to call him out, but Jacob Fatu would get out there before he would even get the chance. Then the Usos would interrupt him, and they would get into it, and they would start brawling, and then Roman would come, and then they would attack Jacob Fatu, and they would all eventually stand tall, putting Jacob Fatu down. But then Fatu would challenge Roman Reigns to tribal combat, and Roman Reigns would accept. It is official at Clash in Italy. It will be Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in tribal combat. And this show is really seeming like it's going to be a banger card. We have both world champions defending at Clash in Italy. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have this absolute banger of a street fight. It was a banger from start to finish. They even had great stuff going on before commercial break. Dominic Mysterio would eventually, of course, try and get involved, but Finn Balor would still end up picking up the win. And man, this match was awesome. I just wish we could have matches like this all the time. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we will see Seth Rollins in a backstage segment, basically calling out any member of the Vision to face him in the main event. He wanted Braun Breaker. That's who he really called out, but he challenged any member. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we will have a backstage segment between Becky Lynch and Sol Ruka. Becky Lynch would come and tell Sol Ruka to go, and then Sol Ruka would end up going out to the ring to call out Becky Lynch and challenge her. She said at Saturday night's main event she will be facing Becky Lynch, and it's been made official. But apparently it's not for the title, so maybe this will be like a #1 contendership match. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have a backstage segment between The Vision, where Paul Heyman would say it's going to be Austin Theory versus Seth Rollins. In the main event. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have El Grande Americano and Los Americanos versus Original Grande Americano and his group in the Trios Tornado Tag Match. I thought this match was pretty awesome, if you ask me. I thought it was a really great match. Los Americanos will end up winning. Let me know your thoughts on this. I think they really should just keep this feud in AAA because they said they couldn't touch each other, but apparently that's only in Mexico. It doesn't really make sense to me, but let me know your thoughts on it. Next, we will see the return of LA Knight in a backstage segment with Kathy Kelly and the Usos. Jimmy would tell him how this was not the time, but LA Knight would still speak anyways, and he would call it the Ufalafa. I seen Jay Uso break character a little bit. Seems like this could be starting a feud. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you think this will develop into something else. Next, Michael Cole will have a sit-down interview with Ethan Page. He will ask him basically like some questions why he acts the way he acts. And Ethan Page was talking about how that's why it's going to be a new IC champion at Saturday night's main event, and apparently he wants to change it to the Ethan Page Championship. Let me know your thoughts on it, and if you're liking Ethan Page on the main roster so far. Next, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match, Paige and Brie Bella versus the Judgment Day Girls. The match was pretty solid, if you ask me. Paige and Brie Bella are still our tag champs, but after the match, they would get attacked, and then here comes Bayley and Lyra to save them. I guess they're putting them in the tag team scene. Hopefully they do something with them because these two are too good to be on the sideline. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have a backstage segment between LA Knight and Seth Rollins. Seemed like they had like a pretty heated discussion a little bit. I'm not sure if this will develop into anything. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we will see a promo between Penta and Ethan Page. Penta will challenge in the fight right now, but Ethan Page would say no, of course. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you're liking their feud, hitting it up. Next, we have Obafemi come out for the Obafemi Open Challenge. And to, I think, everybody's surprised, nobody could say they expected this to happen. Brock Lesnar came back and attacked him, and they will be facing again at Clash in Italy. Let me know what do you think of this, and if you think this was the right call, and who you think wins that match. And in the main event, it will be Seth Rollins versus Austin Theory. Match pretty solid. Of course, the Vision will get involved. Out would come Angelo Dawkins to help, but Montez Ford, of course, couldn't resist, stand back, and he had to come help his partner, and they would take out the Vision. Let me know your thoughts on this. Overall, I thought Raw was a really great episode this week. I'll give it like a 9.5 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on it, and if you enjoyed this Raw episode. We would open up SmackDown with the SmackDown Women's Champion and Rhea Ripley. I mean, the WWE Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley, coming out, and she would challenge Jade Cargill to a match at Clash in Italy. We get interrupted by Charlotte, and they would say, and Charlotte would come out and say how they need to focus on their match tomorrow. And they, of course, we're arguing. Alexa Bliss in the middle, and Alexa Bliss was in the middle of it. Then out would come Fatal Influence, and they would challenge them. And then Charlotte would tell any two of them can take on Charlotte. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you think this will lead to a feud between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. So we have a backstage segment between Royce Keys and the MFTs. Royce Keys was frustrated, of course, being costed by Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa was how he didn't cost him. He tried to help him because they're family. Let me know your thoughts on this, and if you're liking this stuff with Royce Keys. A backstage segment between Charlotte, where Alexa Bliss would say how Charlotte and Rhea need to get on the same page and how they will be the ones in the tag match tonight. Let me know your thoughts on this. I have Tama Tonga versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Pretty solid match if you ask me. After Tama Tonga would end up picking up the win with some help from MFT. After that, Tama Tonga would end up proving his loyalty to Solo, and then they would try to continue to attack him after the match. Out will come Damian Priest to save Shinsuke Nakamura. Let me know your thoughts on this. I think it could lead to a potential 6-man tag match with Shinsuke and Weapon Truth, or Weapon Up, I think they're being called, versus MFT. Let me know your thoughts on this program. We have a backstage segment between Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis. Cody Rhodes wanted to handle it and get the contract signed by Gunther, but Nick Aldis told him to let him handle it. And then would come Sami Zayn. They would have a chat, and he would say if he needs help, he could help him. Cody Rhodes would say thank you, but no thanks. And Sami Zayn would act like he's no help. Then he would ask for a spot on the show, and then he would say, Nick Aldis say he doesn't have one for him. He would get all mad, and he would talk about Cody Rhodes, man, the golden boy. He bet if Cody Rhodes actually would get it, and then Cody Rhodes would come and overhear his conversation and challenge Sami Zayn to a match. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have the Tiffany Stratton Open Challenge, which would get answered by Lash Legend. I was expecting and hoping for it to be Blake Monroe, but Lash Legend is still not a bad option. The match was pretty solid. Chelsea Green would end up coming out and helping Chelsea win by attacking Nia Jax after she tried to get involved, and Tiffany would end up rolling up Lash Legend. I feel like they tried to protect her in a way. They might not have wanted her to take that loss. Let me know your thoughts on it, and if you like this open challenge. There has been power outages this whole SmackDown, good amount, because you found out that because of Danhausen is doing an experiment. Let me know your thoughts on that and where you think that's going. Next, we will have Trick Williams, the United States champion, come out with Little Yachty, and then they would end up getting interrupted. Mello Hayes, who would challenge him to a match. Lil Yachty was trying to talk Trick out of it, but Trick would end up accepting the match. And this match was awesome. It was really good. And Ricky Saints would end up coming out. He distracted both men, but he ended up costing Carmelo Hayes the win, because Carmelo Hayes rolled Trick Williams up for like at least 5 seconds. Let me know your thoughts on this. And I think this leads to a triple threat eventually for the United States Championship. Let me know your thoughts. Next, we have Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair versus Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. It's pretty solid in my opinion. Of course, they had Can They Coexist? End up picking up the win with Rhea Ripley being blindsided, tagged, and Charlotte Flair picking up the win for the team. Let me know your thoughts on this. Next, we have Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa. Match was pretty solid if you ask me. Of course, the MFTs would get involved, and they would end up costing Damian Priest the match. After the match, they would try to jump him. Out would come Royce Keys to save him. And then when Royce Keys tried to grab Damian Priest up, he would get choked, but he didn't get slammed. I guess it's because he didn't know who it was. Know your thoughts on this. Blake Monroe would make her WWE main roster debut, talking to Chelsea Green. She would say she watched her out there and she wishes she didn't. I kind of seen that. I felt like we could be good together. Let me know your thoughts on it. And Chelsea Green would get attacked by the Irresistible Forces. Next, Royce Keys and Damian Priest will have a heated discussion backstage. And Priest says he doesn't trust them because for all he knows, he could be involved with the MFTs. Royce Keys warns him that if it's a problem that he wants, it's a problem he can get. Let me know your thoughts on it. Next in the main event, we have Cody Rhodes versus Sami Zayn. No, this isn't Sami Zayn, but he was wearing green, so I decided to use it. The match was a great match, if you ask me. They were really going at it. This seemed like this could possibly be a championship feud. They were trying to get involved to cause Cody, but he would end up getting hit by Sami Zayn, I guess, accidentally hitting him. And then Cody Rhodes would capitalize with the crossroads. It seemed like Cody Rhodes had hurt his knee. We'll see what happens with that. It's probably just a work. And then after the match, when Cody Rhodes will win, he would get attacked by Gunther. And Sami Zayn would look like he's going to do something, but he would just end up looking at him and walking away. Let me know your thoughts on this. Bro, I thought Smackdown was a solid episode, better than most usually. I give it like a 7 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts on it. Till next time, like, comment, and subscribe.